I adore zombie games, and if you're watching this video, the chances are you're exactly the same as I am. A psychopath. But, well, I assume you really like State of Decay 3 as well as I do, and that's what I want to talk about in this video. What I've seen so far is unexpectedly good. I really enjoyed all the aspects when it comes to base building, when it comes to gameplay, when it comes to animations, when it comes to the look of the game. Literally everything is a step above what they did in State of Decay 2. And this comes as a huge shock to me because I had given up hope for this game completely. And none of you can blame me for doing so because we had the teaser trailer so long ago at this point where each year I was waiting for anything substantial from State of Decay 3 and we had nothing. And I was like, okay, you know what? I don't think this game's gonna come out anymore. I should just ready myself for a disappointment. But then all of a sudden, we had a little bit of a gameplay trailer situation going on, and then just hours upon hours of gameplay when it comes to combat, base building, everything that I just mentioned in the beginning of the video. And shout out to the YouTubers who put those out in the world. One is Brian Menard and the other is Jay Talbot. And between each of them, I think they have at least like 3 hours worth of just early alpha gameplay. And even though there's a lot of placeholders when it comes to the UI and everything, animations, I specifically love the whatever this hand gesture, delicious hand gesture whenever you eat something in the pre-alpha. I think they should keep that in the game and implement it in there somehow as an Easter egg or something like that. I think that'd be really sweet. I especially really like the stealth takedown animations. I mean, they go so hard for no reason at all. And the combat looks extremely fluent. It seems like there are just many ways you can take down a zombie. You can tackle him. You can do a flying kick. You can heavy attack, light attack, and change those together. And here's the thing. I thought the animations worked pretty well and the combat felt pretty good in State of Decay 2 already. And this looks like a step above that. And that's a huge W. And continuing that theme, the map itself is times and times bigger than what we had in State of Decay 2. And that's a huge W. And looks like they've done a lot of balancing with the zombies, with the special infected as well. I really like how the bloater has this certain golden time where you can strike to just take them out silently, or at least with one shot. Otherwise, they're just gonna mess with you. And when they get really angry, they just run at you and then explode. It's insane, but I think it creates a really good gameplay dynamic. One thing I desperately need them to stay away from, however, is I really didn't like State of Decay 2 going almost the Dark Souls route, where here are these plague hearts. Now there are 20 million of them in the map, and they're extremely difficult to beat. Every single step you take, you will just want to quit the game, and you will want to cry. I really didn't like that. Look, I love stories that come out of sandbox games or just games in general. I love those emergent stories. I don't care about difficulty. I need the game world, the story to be interesting. I need a good reason to exist in the gameplay space. And then difficulty is kind of like a spice to it. I think the first game, with its many faults and something I would barely be able to call a storyline, was still, it felt better to me than State of Decay 2 because you at least had some sort of an inkling of what you wanted to do. State of Decay 2 was even more all over the place, and like I still remember the ending mission because of how absolutely bland and nothing burger it was. I don't want that again. And so far, early alpha gameplay, I've seen a lot of cool things, but story, it's nowhere to be found. And I see no indication of anything that's promising when it comes to just making headwaves and really making huge changes in that department as well. And that looks to be, unfortunately, the case. But if they are able to nail the sense of community better, make the gameplay kind of more immersive in the sense that I don't need it to be realistic, but I want to feel like I'm in the world. And here's another kudos that I have to give, and I've seen a lot of other people also mention this, rightfully so. The sound design, it's very crisp, and everything just makes sense. Everything is as loud as it should be. Everything sounds as disgusting or as powerful or as scary as they should. The sound design team, they really nailed that. And it's a huge thing, obviously, especially for talking horror. I really like the fact that you have so much more space in car trunks now. And the looting is kind of changed up, which I don't mind the change at all. I like the fact that you can have multiple bases, and then there are just so many branching, like smaller bases, places where you can gather resources, and the fact that you have to assign somebody to a certain, let's say, job or a station. I like that as well, because that will allow you to, with 3 bases included, build huge communities, which will also help you tackle the way bigger map. It all makes sense. And eventually, if you get really, really self sufficient, you can craft a whole lot of bullets, a whole lot of healing items. You can really get powerful. And I think that sense of accomplishment would be amazing. Again, the story needs to be here so that once you do that, you have something else to do. Maybe a final beautiful mission, or just great missions in general, giving you really interesting storylines and memorable moments the whole way through. I mean, it's difficult. Obviously, they want to keep it as emergent as possible. They don't want to, with the game, with just the nature of this game, they can't really like box you in like it's Call of Duty and you just follow this narrow line, narrow structure. Obviously, that can't be the case, but it can certainly be way better than State of Decay 1 and 2 combined by 100. The bar is so low, right? Come on. And besides the story, the next biggest place that I want to see improvements in, it might even be bigger than the stories for me, to be honest with you, is the AI. I really love right now how the zombies are spilling through the windows. They're really trying to follow you. You got shamblers, you got runners. It's interesting. Got many enemy types. Always keeps things fresh, more interesting to tackle. Love that. It straight up looks like Days Gone. And the zombie sections of that game, just coming across hordes every time it was an event, and every time it was either really, really scary or it was really fun to figure out, okay, how do I get myself out of this situation? Or, oh my God, I literally have nothing on me. Let me just chill. Let me just chill and hope to God that they just pass. This happened in State of Decay 1 and 2 as well, of course. But I mean, now again, because they can pursue a lot more, and I imagine there are even more zombies because of the less technical boundaries and more resources to use when it comes to this game, things can get really, really scary really quick. And that excites me. But I always feel extremely alone when I've played this game. If I were to play it with my buddies, I'm sure that's not going to be the case. But again, I'm a huge single player gamer, and honestly, that doesn't change when it comes to State of Decay. So let's be honest here. The friendly AI, our fellow survivors, look, they do the most basic of stuff, but I mean, wouldn't it be cool if they had better AI? Just smarter, so that you could do more with them. For me, unfortunately, I never wanted to bring someone with me unless it was an extremely specific or a safe situation, because I knew if I got into any type of real trouble where I would need to use my brain, my AI teammate is either going to get bitten, infected, torn apart, and I'm just going to be pissed off, and I'm going to lose a character that I might have had a lot of progress with. So I'm not seeing anything about other survivors improving either, to be honest with you. But if you told me State of Decay 3 has a good story, a better story at least, and just good companion, or let's say fellow survivor AI, that would really entice me even more. I'm still gonna check it out. I love zombie games. I pretty much play everything that comes out. And State of Decay specifically has been one of those dark horses, one of those sleeper hits. The fact that they're doing a third game is lucky in and of itself. And I guess the last thing I'll close this out by is the fact that I'm really scared about this game, and it's not the zombies. Unfortunately, it's actual people, it's the real world. That scares me. because I've been hearing news and seeing them here and there about potentially Undead Labs getting shut down. Here, for example, is some news on Twitter saying Xbox is reportedly considering closing down Undead Labs, developers of State of Decay 3, if a buyer of the studio is not found. Wow. Take all these with a grain of salt, but it looks like there's a potential where, some studios could just go independent and still keep everything, but obviously they won't be under the umbrella of Xbox, which will make a difference for sure. Even if they don't find a buyer. And again, them losing the studios getting shut down if they don't find a buyer, that's also not really confirmed here. So we'll have to see. I really don't think it's far-fetched to say that the reason Undead Labs allowed so many videos of this game to come out all of a sudden, it might be because of like, hey, in case we do get shut down, let us just create some hype for this game so that either we stay with Xbox, or if we have to leave Xbox, maybe someone can pick us up. Someone could maybe give us money, because here, look, our game, people are loving our game right now. The perception is great. Invest in us so we can complete the game. I think it's really smart. If I was in their place, I think this is what I would have done as well. Because I mean, like, we're talking 8 years or so many freaking years of development. Yeah, I like it. I think it's a pretty good move. I feel like, again, that's why they did this. I genuinely think that the studio has a pretty decent game cooking up here, and it'd be just sad to lose it so close to its launch. It would just be ridiculous. So hopefully that doesn't happen. But let me know what you think about State of Decay 3. And to Undead Labs, good luck. It looks like you're gonna need it.